Hello and welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton. Today we're back in the Brock Bourbon Bar and we're drinking some port-finished bourbon.
And Johnny Tsunami is excited because we've got Midwinter Dram, baby!
Wow, really?
Yep.
Somebody from the peanut gallery turned his mic
Absolutely. For real.
That being said, I'm super excited too.
Good deal.
The other thing is...
I'm going to call you a word that starts with a C and ends with a T, and I'll let you figure out what it means.
I love it.
So Johnny's already given away one of the bottles that
Yep.
we're drinking tonight.
We are drinking Midwinter's Night Dram. It is Act 11, Scene 3. Ooh. It's coming in at 98.6 proof. And then the other one we are drinking is the Hotel Tango Port. And it is what, Nick?
Coming in at 90 proof.
90 proof.
Now, this is a unique release from Hotel Tango because they're mostly known for their Reserve, the regular bourbon. Mm-hmm. They also do the Smello.
Schmallow.
And I think they do a
three or four different liqueurs.
Was there
Like
a
blueberry
limoncello
gin
and some
or
other
something like
Oh,
that?
the
It was a
navy
navy berry.
gin.
It was the
berry.
navy berry.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is we so happened to be going to a local watering hole up in Indy while we were in the area for like a family vacation. We
Yep.
decided to stop in there, and
Is that Royal Inn?
it's Royal
Yep.
Inn.
Gotcha.
Yep, the Heidi Holo bourbon in Indy.
There you
so,
go.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we just so happened to look over there and says they had the actual owner that we did the interview with stopped by over there to do a few things.
Travis was actually there when you were there?
No.
Oh, I was about to
but-
say, that would be too
But
crazy.
he
helped.
brought a couple of the
Gotcha.
cases for this over to Rural Inn and talked with the owner over there.
Gotcha.
And when we walked in and we were looking around, we saw this and he said, "Yeah, that's the last one we have of this."
So I sent a pic of this to Travis whenever you had brought it back, and he was like, where'd you get that? I was like, I got people, dog. I got friends in low places. Don't worry about me. Just call me Garth Brooks.
Because I got
He's turning-
friends in a low place.
How do you respond to that?
I know, really. What do you do? All right. Anyway, we're
drink.
We're going to drop in on this Hotel Tango finished in port first, and then we're going to move over to the Midwinters.
Oh, it's got a nice, sweet earthiness
hi.
to the nose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is.
Oh.
I don't know what I was expecting because I don't think Hotel Tango had gone into much of the finished stuff.
I don't know, but
It is straight up like a dark fruit bomb.
Bomb.
Yes, it is.
Like some
Absolutely.
caramel, dark
Yep.
fruit. It's 90
It's
proof.
very creamy.
yes.
Yeah.
I was just thinking
the
that.
texture
And there's
of it.
just
Got a
a
crazy-
teeny tiny bit of some baking spice. I'm not sure what. I can't. And
Yeah.
this is just on my nose.
And the mash bill on this bad boy is 75.21.4.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
I don't know. Crazy.
I don't know, but dang.
That seems like a different mash bill than a lot of others.
I mean, it's MGP's
Like very-
mash bill,
I know,
but they
but-
make their own. But they also do a lot of contract distillate through, I think it's Great Midwest, like out of Columbus, Ohio, or
Okay.
one of those places out there. I can't remember where it's at exactly, but they do a lot of their contract distilling through that place out in Ohio. So
the description on this is that it is an 8-year, and as it puts, rested in ruby and tawny port barrels.
okay,
both
so
of them.
does it say it's been distilled in Indiana then? Because I bet it is MGP if that's the case. If it's 8 years old,
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is MGP. All
Okay.
right, that makes more sense.
the legs on this sucker are not moving at all.
No.
It is
No,
just
it's got some-
completely sticking.
Yeah, totally.
It's awesome.
It's almost like the spider legs. You're seeing them
Yeah.
move, but there's a lot sticking behind, but the main lines are coming down.
Caramel, that crazy strong like plum.
That red dark fruit.
Yeah.
Has anybody taken a sip yet?
No, I'm just about
I'm
to.
getting ready to. So while we're sipping, you talk
talk.
about what do you got, Barbara?
It is, I mean, it's so rye heavy. There's just so much baking spice in there it just hits perfectly on that tongue. But then it also, it finishes so light.
You're getting a lot of rye on this.
I am. Like right on the very tip of my tongue.
No.
Is this your first pull of the night?
No. I've
Okay.
had another. Not much, but
I'm not getting. I'm getting some of the spice you would typically get from a rye, but like it's all mellow because it's so sweet.
I'm getting the sweet. That's what I was going
I
to say.
mean, it's like
Yeah.
straight dead fruit. It's got caramel. It's got some little butterscotch. It's got a ton of dark fruit.
yeah, ton.
This
dark
reminds
fruit and
me-
then creaminess like
Yeah.
on the side of the tongue and the
This
mouth.
reminds me of a cheesecake almost.
Yeah.
In terms
Oh.
of
Yeah, like
it's
a-
got
like a-
creamy. It's got the fruit. It's
Yeah.
got the sweetness.
Yeah. Yep.
This is super surprising.
I don't know
Really
which cheesecake you would equate it to, but it's definitely like. But it's not. It could be cherry, but like cherry's not even. It's too bright for how dark and rich this is.
sounds so stupid, but almost like what they would call a razzleberry or something, where it's maybe not. It's a combination of several different ones. But I was not anticipating it to be as good as it is.
This sucker is solid.
This is knocking my socks off right now. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting going into it, but
Right.
since their Hotel Tango wasn't necessarily known for those port, or not even port, but even finished, whiskeys or bourbons.
Correct.
This is actually impressing me.
This is really amazing.
No, it's way out exceeding my expectations from what I had. Yeah, get on in, Andy.
Just based off of the other bottles that they've made, this is really nice.
So, my mom makes this cake. It's a prune cake.
Oh, okay.
So take prunes,
Yeah.
and then take your baking spices.
Yeah.
Make a cake. It's super waxy, and let it set for about 2 weeks before you even cut it, and then make that into a bourbon. That's what this is.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, the prune is very. That's a good description, because I tell you, like, I kept going plum, but it was even darker than plum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And prune
once he
was
said
the word.
prune, that's exactly.
100%. Mm-hmm. It oddly enough too, it almost gives like off that persimmon bread type spice too.
Yeah. Well, and that may be where I'm getting those baking spices that I'm getting. And so Nick was saying that it was really creamy on the side of his tongue. Right there is where I'm getting all that spice.
All right, I'm not adding any water. I'm going to the Midwinters.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, dude.
This is almost on the nose. You get like a little bit of that rye, and then like a bright fruit,
Bright fruit.
Yeah.
like burst.
Right. Cherry, a little bit of plum.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rich and
so
decadent.
Ton of vanilla.
Yes.
Yes.
Ton of vanilla.
Ton. Oh my God.
Almost like those vanilla cigars that they like soak or like give it that enhanced flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And just a touch of mintiness, just like a little
On the nose?
slap. Just a slap.
No, I was actually thinking that more as like just like an undertone of tobacco, just
Yeah.
kind of like hanging real low.
See, I normally get that on the mouthfeel. I don't get that on the nose for this particular brand,
I like these legs too.
but I like the description. The color on this one is beautiful.
Oh, I know.
It's just
It's
almost a
beautiful.
ruby amber.
Yeah.
The legs are very similar. I mean, they're sticking, but they are kind of doing that little bit of a spider leg on down.
Ooh.
I heard you smacking your lips over there, Scotty.
Scott's already taken a pull.
Dude, so
My
like,
turn.
so this is where, like, when Barbara first was talking about what she thought was on the other one, that's immediately what I get. It's almost like that boo rye type that typically comes from that Midwinters, or I mean from typical High West stuff.
West.
But then it's got that beautiful, delicate fruit and some sweetness, some vanilla. That's money.
And I also I have weirdly enough a almost sage aftertaste, like just kind of lingering. It's because I mean your fruit and your rye is still kind of hanging out there, but there's just this little floral hint that's not mint. That's why I'm kind of equating it more to sage, like almost like a dried sage.
Thanksgiving dinner, man. The cranberry sauce,
Yep.
a little
Yep.
bit of the dressing, that
Yeah.
sagey, like,
Sagey.
A little peppery.
yep, little pepper. Man, this thing's money.
Compared to I have the whole.
I will say though, man, you stack these up against each other. A lot of people in a blind are going to take the first one over the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
Because there's definitely some definite crazy sweetness. It's almost like it's almost artificial how sweet that first one is.
Yeah.
I wonder if those barrels weren't just a hair wet.
It could be hair wet,
You
but
never
you know what?
I don't know. It's still a
I mean,
solid.
we
I like it wet.
I like wet.
You know,
Right as I go to take a
you know,
sip.
You know,
Thanks.
I find that funny because I know a lot of those people, and I was about to say it, moist. There are people who hate that
description, moist, yeah.
And there's like the people cringe and just hate it.
It's so moist, guys.
It's moist. ASMR. Moist.
It's dripping.
Bourbon Barrel Talk, the ASMR episode.
Not safe for work.
I'm pretty sure most of them are not safe
I
for
will
work.
say that Midwinter is. I've got the entire Act 10,
Okay.
Scene 1 through 6.
Oh
bottles.
wow!
And this being Act 11, Scene 3, you said, Scott?
Yeah.
This crushes it, even in comparison to the Act 10s.
Oh wow. Okay.
I will say the Act 10s weren't really bangers, in comparison to, because I think, some of the early Midwinters, that at least I think I've tasted like 6 and 7.
Oh, sure, yeah.
We're
Definitely.
a different beast.
Absolutely.
10, I think, went a little down from 9, but then 11 just went right
Shot
back
back up.
up.
1 through 5 were money.
All right. Just for those radio listeners, like literally, like Scott's eyes rolled to the back of his head.
Dude, I'm kidding. They're money.
Yeah.
The first 4 or 5 that were ever released, like those first, 5 acts of Midwinters
Never
were
had
just
the privilege
money.
of trying them.
All right, I'm gonna dive back in on the hotel.
Okay.
I got to cleanse here real fast.
So funny when you go back to the second one, more of the spice pops through.
On the Tango.
Now I'm going back to the Hotel Tango, and it's interesting. On the nose, I'm getting almost like a maple tobacco on the nose.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, it's
Good
definitely a
description, Nick.
super, super sweet, like
Yeah, it's super sweet.
dark red tobacco with a little bit of maple.
It's a pancake mixer for sure. Like, do a pancake shot with it.
The Midwinters is so complicated
I know.
and so delicious, and there's so much complexity to it. The Hotel Tango is very sweet. It's very tasty. It's got some nice, rich notes to it. It's really, really, I mean, it's a matter of what you're looking for when you're looking for a port finish.
Now, does it also depend on what type of port wine was used in the barrel? Will that have a
absolutely.
significant
So
factor?
like a standard port versus a tawny port are going to be a little bit more dry, whereas tawnies are going to be like much more robust and sweet.
Yeah.
Which
So-
is what the Hotel Tango is.
Absolutely,
It's a combination of-
100%.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it says it's both ruby and tawny
Tawny.
port.
Whereas
finished.
I don't know what kind of port barrels the Midwinters are
Midwinter.
done. It would not surprise me if it's both and they blend it out.
Do we have
Okay.
any idea how long they're aged in the port barrels?
I mean that's an 8-year-old product based on the color on the Hotel Tango. I'm going to guesstimate and just say it's been in there for at least 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
Okay.
Would not surprise me. It could be 6. That's the reason I said if it's 6, that was a wet barrel. It was moist, as Nick would say. But that being said, I mean, delicious pour for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just went back to the Midwinter for
Okay.
a second nose, and that persimmon that you described is
Yeah.
coming through strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It is amazing.
I don't want to say I'm like shocked, but I'm just very pleased with both of these performers right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm diving in one last time on this Midwinters. Then I'm going to pick a winner. If anybody's already got a winner, go for it.
All right, so just a little update on the Midwinters.
Okay.
They are also finished in tawny and ruby port barrels. So this is actually a very
Okay.
interesting matchup.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool. Both are absolutely.
So the Tango is port and tawny.
Tawny.
Yeah.
And
But
then
no, the biggest
Ruby.
difference between both
No,
of them
they both
are
have the
Both
same.
are ruby and
and
both
tawny.
are rubies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the only difference
ruby and
that's
tawny.
really true the differences between the two is one is a bourbon, one is a
One's a
rye.
rye.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that's probably the biggest thing in
Yeah.
why I'm going to pick the way I'd pick. But I want somebody else to go first. I'm going to go last on these. Who's going first?
I love how everybody just looked at me.
I mean, come on, we've not seen you in like 3 weeks. I feel like so. I mean, what do you got,
Yeah.
man?
I mean, both are incredibly solid. And I think tonight there's something about
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you going to get to the point here, Barbara?
Gee, I haven't seen you
in a few weeks, but fuck you.
jerk. I think tonight, though, and do not get me wrong, I love Midwinters. I love them totally, but there is something about
She's going Hotel
this
Tango.
Hotel Tango that just is hitting perfect for
wait
me.
a minute, wait a minute. Let's do a reality check here. You were actually choosing a bourbon over rye.
I know.
All right,
I know.
Johnny.
I
Are you
know.
sure she's your wife right now?
I don't know who
The
she is right
doppelganger
now.
didn't come home
I know
tonight?
for real, Johnny.
This is a close call because I was really surprised by the Hotel Tango, but I just, as everyone probably knows that listens to this, I am a midwinter night dram whore.
You
It
are.
is
Yes,
just
you
everything
are.
Yes,
about
you
it,
are.
and the fact that this is just leagues above the collect, like even the ones that I have in my collection. I'm gonna have to just give that the edge. It's just more sophisticated in its complexity, but both bottles are very good. But I'm giving the advantage to Midwinter.
I will honestly. This is going to be a flip of the coin. It depends on what I feel at the time of the day, because I think both of them have their own uniqueness to them. I mean, one's a bourbon; it's kind of a little bit on the sweeter side, caramel, vanilla, even leftover maple syrup and tobacco.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, you're getting a little bit more of that rye complexity, depth that I think both really play off of each other very well. I just think today the Midwinter's has just a slight edge. But I could tell you can come back tomorrow, me taste it. I could easily choose the Hotel Tango over it.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. To me, though, there's something about the complexity of a rye being finished versus a bourbon being finished.
Okay.
That I just appreciate the additional spice that comes through on those things. So for me, I'm going to go Midwinters.
That's fine. I like being the
you get the
oddball.
spice with the fruit flavor.
100%. Yeah. It's just the complexity piece of it, right? Don't get me wrong. That hotel, I mean, I am smashingly surprised at how awesome I think that bottle is. That being said, I mean, just the complexity, the depth of flavor, the fact that you get so much richness out of that Midwinters. I mean, this is probably the best one since probably Act 8 that I've tried.
I'll agree with that, and I will probably say that is almost one of the top Hotel Tangos I think we've tried so far.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Hands down.
That's probably the best Hotel Tango I've ever tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hit that one out the park.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the maple is right under that, but
Yeah.
I really like that one
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Well, I think that's our episode of Bourbon Barrel Talk. If you want to find us, you can find us on Facebook, the Instagram, or the X. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that way if you're listening to iTunes or Spotify or Pandora or whatever, that you get those episodes as soon as they're dropped. Email us any questions at bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com. This is Scott, the Brox, Nick, and Barbara, and Johnny Tsunami signing off. Peace.
Peace out.
Wherefore art thou, Romeo?